Coming up on Valley View News. Organizers say they have enough signatures to start the recall process for Governor Gavin Newsom. Plus, the ex-officer charged in George Floyd's death faces trial. And a Santa Clarita nonprofit piles up donations for their winter clothing drive.
Hello and welcome to Valley View News. I'm Sophia Lesios.
And I'm Casey Contreras in the Digital Media Center.
Leaders of the recall campaign against Governor Gavin Newsom believe they have more than enough signatures to trigger a special election. Most of the signatures were collected by volunteers. One of the campaign leader, Mike Netter, said they collected more than 1 million signatures a week before the deadline.
Of the 1,950,000 signatures collected, our guesstimate is at least 1.6 million of them collected by volunteers up and down the state.
There have been 55 attempts to recall California governors since 1911. 6 involved Governor Newsom. Here's what some Northridge residents think about the recall efforts.
With everybody, I understand a lot of people are not happy that we're still wearing masks and everything, but I'd rather be safe than sorry.
I think the public knows what's best for them. So if that's what they want, maybe they should get a chance to speak their mind.
I feel like if what he was doing before wasn't working and they see it as something that needs to be changed, I feel like it should. Maybe give someone else a chance.
Jury selection started in the trial of former police officer Derek Chauvin for last year's death of George Floyd. Chauvin pled not guilty to the second-degree unintentional murder and second-degree manslaughter charges. Minnesota Governor Tim Walz says there's a lot of work to be done about race and public safety, but he's hopeful.
This gives us an opportunity, Minnesota, to show the world all the great things we have here. We're not afraid to look inward, understand that we've got work to do around race, we've got work to do around public safety, and this will give us a chance to show them that.
A third-degree murder charge was dismissed in October, but an appeals court ruled the trial judge should reconsider that decision.
A USA Today poll found that less than 1 out of 5 Americans support defunding the police. The budget reassignment for police was demanded by Black Lives Matter activists and protesters after the deaths of George Floyd and Breonna Taylor. Some believe police cuts mean getting rid of law enforcement. However, the goal is to steer that money into community social programs. This would require less police involvement into situations better suited for social workers. Out of more than 1,000 Americans polled, only 18% supported defunding police, while 58% said they are opposed to cuts.
Avenue Supported Living Services, a Santa Clarita nonprofit, is piling up bags of donated items for their winter clothing drive. Our reporter Savannah Birchfield spoke with the members of the organization to learn more about who they help in the community.
Spring hasn't arrived yet, and Avenue Supported Living Services is already stocking up donations for their 2021 winter clothing drive.
You can donate clothes, shoes, purses, sweaters, jackets, backpacks.
Oh, this isn't, we'll get a few bags.
The nonprofit collects these items for people in the Santa Clarita and San Fernando valleys who have developmental and intellectual disabilities.
We actually go through every article that's donated, and we have a list of needs and sizes of everyone that we support.
The clothing drive items are sorted by volunteers. They're specifically fit for the needs of each person getting help from the organization. Volunteer Sue Haldorn first got involved at Avenue's SLS with her son.
And he has autism and mental retardation and a few other assorted diagnoses.
Avenue's SLS often has fundraisers like this clothing drive in order to help people who need their services.
I am the cart attendant. So I go out and collect carts.
Avenue Supported Living Services is taking donations in bags like these if you are interested in bringing any items. Reporting in Valencia for Valley View News, I'm Savannah Birchfield.
Meghan and Harry sat down with Oprah Winfrey on Sunday for their first interview since stepping down from the royal duties. The couple said they were trapped by the royal life. Meghan even admitted she considered suicide. The family struggled with media attacks and racist criticism of their son.
And also concerns and conversations about how dark his skin might be when he's born.
What?
Meghan said she reached out to the palace's Human Resource Department for help, but she was denied any support. They said they're now just concerned for the safety of their son.
Some New York State Senate leaders called for Governor Andrew Cuomo's resignation after allegations of sexual harassment. Senate Majority Leader Andrea Stewart Cousins was one of the first to ask Cuomo to quit. Republican Assemblyman Jake Ashby said Cuomo's alleged actions reflect poorly on him.
It is now abundantly clear that this governor can no longer lead our state. His abusive use of power has been evident, and the damage these abuses have caused have capsized his reputation and the public trust that comes with it.
At least 5 women accused Cuomo of inappropriate behavior. Former policy and operators aide Ann List told the Wall Street Journal that Cuomo kissed her, touched her lower back, and verbally harassed her. Cuomo said his actions were friendly banter and that it would be anti-democratic to ask him to resign.
LA County aims to administer 88,000 COVID-19 vaccines this week. Mayor Eric Garcetti announced vaccination sites will ramp up first dose appointments at 7 permanent locations and 8 mobile clinics. Last week, Garcetti said LA administered more than 500,000 doses at city-run sites. This week's supply has nearly 68,000 first dose appointments and 20,000 second dose appointments. Shipments include 54,000 doses of Moderna vaccine and 25,000 from Johnson & Johnson to be given at locations in San Fernando Park, Hanson Dam, the Crenshaw Christian Center, Lincoln Park, Pierce College, USC, University Park, and Dodgers Stadium.
Fully vaccinated Americans can now gather indoors with others who are also fully vaccinated. The CDC's Dr. Rochelle Walensky made the announcement because more people are getting vaccinated.
CDC recommends that fully vaccinated people can visit with other fully vaccinated people in small gatherings indoors without wearing masks or physical distancing.
The CDC also recommends that people who have received the vaccinations continue to get tested if they develop any COVID-related symptoms.
President Joe Biden's $1.9 trillion COVID relief bill is one step closer to becoming law. Last weekend, the bill was passed in the Senate. Senator Chuck Schumer says the bill is needed to boost the economy.
If you're a working person like these folks are, you don't put it in the bank, because you need to spend it. And most people spend it or spend a good part of it, and it gets the economy going.
This week, the bill needs to pass in the House before landing on Biden's desk. Once it becomes law, many Americans will get $1,400 stimulus check within a few days.
The pandemic has forced the Los Angeles County Metropolitan Transportation Authority to change its sanitation and cleaning methods. Our reporter Stephanie Garcia found out how CDC guidelines are met in order to keep drivers and passengers safe.
Stop requested. Please use rear exit.
Metro Transportation hasn't stopped operations during the pandemic. So to keep passengers and bus drivers safe, they've made a couple of changes involving sanitation and cleaning.
We go in there and disinfect all the high touch point areas, the handrails, the seating.
Before the pandemic, Metro carried about 1.2 million passengers a day. Now they carry about 567,000 passengers daily. Most of them are essential workers.
I use the train daily because I'm an essential worker, and I do feel safe because everybody wears a mask, and that's #1 priority right now.
Just like Zabaleta, bus driver Nelson Bonilla, also known as number 75850, talks about why he believes bus drivers are essential.
I believe we are. Without us, there's no bus service.
Metro has now tried to contact its state leaders to try and push the eligibility of their bus drivers for the vaccine. Reporting for Valley View News from East LA, I'm Stephanie Garcia.
Department stores in California are still separating toys and childcare items by gender. Assembly Bill 1084 will end the gender-specific separation in retail. Shopping would be gender neutral if the bill is approved. Children will no longer feel pressure to choose the toy that is gender conforming. The bill will not allow stores to market any particular item as a boy or girl toy. If the bill passes, it will take effect January 2024. Any store that does not make changes to the gender-based arrangements can have a charge of $1,000 for violation.
Gas prices in Southern California reached its highest price since 2019. The average price of gas in Los Angeles County has increased 44.2 cents in the past 46 days. According to the U.S. Energy Information Administration, a gallon of regular gas cost an average of $3.56. Monday, the national average for a gallon of gasoline increased by 2 cents to $2.74. The demand for gas has increased nationally due to the shortage of gas stock.
As California prepares for daylight savings time, other states are fighting to get rid of time change. Georgia's state passed Bill 46-7 that will end the state's observance of daylight savings time. Georgia's House of Representatives must now take a vote. In the last 4 years, 15 states were year-round daylight savings time. New Mexico's Senate also passed a bill for year-round daylight savings time, pending approval from the federal government. Currently, Arizona and Hawaii are the only states that don't observe daylight savings time. In 2018, California voted to make daylight savings time permanent, but the federal law would need to change.
The unemployment rate for people with special needs is about 80%. Also, there's limited employment for them after age 22. Reporter Kimberly Linares spoke with the founders of a coffee shop who use their knowledge as special educators to hire individuals with disabilities.
Able Coffee Roasters isn't like any other coffee shop. Their uniqueness is found within their employees and within every cup of coffee.
As special educators and behavior therapists, we saw that there was a need for opportunity for employment for those with disabilities.
There it is, it popped up for you right there.
Working behind the register, stamping brown paper bags, and preparing drinks are a few of the daily tasks done by staff that help with their job development.
I enjoy most is register, stamping, and put a sticker on the cup. Joy most.
The menu is inspired by familiar behavioral terms. Reinforcers in the special education system are either positive or negative. At Able Coffee Roasters, they are food.
Everybody's welcome. We have an inclusive environment. That's our mural is huge here with the inclusion. That's big.
Come on.
Able Coffee Roasters is planning to expand throughout Southern California. Reporting in Huntington Beach for Valley View News, I'm Kimberly Linares.
More to come on Valley View News. Pope Francis visits areas devastated by ISIS on his trip to Iraq. And Team LeBron beats Team Durant in Sunday's NBA All-Star Game. Stay with us. Now let's go to Studio B, where Lizeth Seha updates us on how some countries are celebrating International Women's Day, the Pope, and the Bolivian election.
French women's rights activists gathered in Paris Sunday to protest sexism and sexual violence. It was a day before International Women's Day. In France, reports of domestic violence increased by 40% during the first coronavirus lockdown. The increase was 60% for the second lockdown. Activists held banners reading "Stop Femicide" as they marched at France's Republic Plaza. Similar street protests occurred around the world. The American Socialist Party created the first International Women's Day. In 1908, a group of about 15,000 women marched in New York City, demanding shorter working hours, better pay, and the right to vote. Pope Francis' historic trip to Iraq ended last Sunday. He visited Mosul and Kirakosh. The cities were destroyed by the war against ISIS. He led prayers for the shrinking population of Iraqi Christians. Pope Francis told them that hope is more powerful than hatred. He condemned ISIS terrorism while encouraging peace and forgiveness. The Pope ended the trip with his largest mass in the stadium of Erbil, Thousands attended, including some ISIS escapees. The Pope is being applauded for his potentially risky visit. President Biden says the trip is a symbol of hope for the entire world. In Bolivia, despite the increase in COVID-19 cases, over 7 million people will vote at polling stations. Voting is mandatory. 9 governors and over 335 mayors will be elected. Johns Hopkins University says Bolivia has reported more than 250,000 COVID-19 cases. There have been 11,800 deaths. Bolivia's President Salvador Romero approved holding the 2 elections during the pandemic. Last week, Ethiopia and Sri Lanka received batches of COVID-19 vaccines under the World Health Organization's COVAX plan. 2.2 million vaccines went to Ethiopia, 264,000 went to Sri Lanka. The COVAX program makes sure the poor and developing countries get access to COVID-19 vaccines. Both countries are working on a plan to roll out the vaccines to high-priority groups. An explosion in Guinea killed 31 people last weekend. More than 600 people were injured. The bomb was planted in a military base camp in the main city of Bata. Volunteers and state emergency workers rushed to rescue people. Officials say the cause was badly stored dynamite along with dry vegetation farmers were burning nearby. President Obiang said the blast happened because of major negligence by managers who were supposed to care of the unit. The opposition in Guinea are asking for aid from the US, Spain, and France. I'm Lisette Ceja in Studio B. Back to you in the studio.
The owner of a unique gym wants to help people reach their fitness goal by bringing the gym to their location. Valley View reporter Jordan Henry reports on how the gym helps keep people safe from the coronavirus.
Since the pandemic hit, many more people are looking for safer workout and exercise options.
Good.
With that in mind, Alex Marina started his company, TrackFit.
I wanted to be unique with it.
He wants people to work out in safety, so he takes the mobile gym to them.
I just came up with the mobile gym concept.
Since most of the gyms in California are closed, some people are finding it hard to get motivated to work out.
There we go.
Personal trainer Chris Pinello says they can book a mobile gym.
Good.
They'll bring the gym to you for all your fitness needs.
We can go to a lake, or we can go down the beach somewhere else, or a different park, or right in front of your doorstep, quite honestly.
It's simple to set up. The company delivers innovative fitness equipment and programs to you. A personal trainer is included along with nutritional guidance to help people reach their fitness goals. Social distancing protocols are practiced as well.
COVID happened, nobody can go inside. It's just a lot smarter to have it outside, and it's kind of cool, honestly, that you can just take this anywhere with you, put it on the back of a truck.
The owner of TrackFit plans on opening more fitness gyms and helping people reach their fitness goals, all in a safe environment. For Valley View News, I'm Jordan Henry.
Team LeBron beat Team Durant in Sunday night's NBA All-Star Game. Giannis Antetokounmpo wins his first All-Star MVP award thanks to a perfect 16 for 16 shooting performance. Stephen Curry and Damian Lillard had a memorable shooting night, making several shots from the half-court range. After his win for Team LeBron, LeBron James is now 4-0 as captain in the All-Star Game. The NBA's regular season starts Wednesday, with the Wizards facing the Grizzlies.
The NBA Commissioner Adam Silver won't require players to get COVID-19 vaccine. He believes players will choose to do what makes their lives simpler. Silver said it's a personal decision.
I think ultimately these are personal decisions that players need to make, just like everyone in our communities need to make.
NBA health and safety protocols require players to be tested up to 3 times a day. If they were in contact with someone who tested positive, they must quarantine. The NBA postponed 31 games due to health and safety protocols.
Because of the pandemic, it's been too many months without football for some high school players. But the Bishop Alemany High School football team is back to practicing. There are some changes though. Valley View News reporter Adam Roman spoke to the team about how they adjusted.
Students and faculty all over the country are adapting to returning to school again during the pandemic. Bishop Alamany High School's football team has started practicing, and the team could not be more excited. Running back coach Iyande Bomani says he is happy to see the players back on the field.
Our Alamany kids, I'm super happy to see them get a chance to prove how good they are and how diligent they are. So it ain't really about football, it's about people who have stick-to-itiveness.
Good job, Kev. Not only are the coaches ready to start practices once again, but so are the players. It has been difficult for student athletes to stay home for so many months without football. Sophomore Isaiah Chisholm says it has been a challenge to follow COVID protocols, but he is glad to be practicing.
And then all these regulations we got to keep on following. But being back out here is really good. All our spirits are really up. It's just good to be back.
The team is ready for the season to begin. They have been overcoming so many obstacles that the pandemic has thrown at them so far. The coaches have even seen the hard work and dedication that the players have put into their craft.
They never gave up, you know what I mean? And they kept going, they moved up, and now we're here. Now we just got to do what we know we could do.
Bishop Alamany's football team continues to take safety protocols to keep playing this year. Their season starts at home against Notre Dame High School on March 19th. Reporting in Mission Hills for Valley View News, I'm Adam Roman.
When we come back, we'll cover the 63rd Annual Grammy Awards and the performance lineup. Also, CSUN alum Danny Trejo drafted into the LAFC. Stay with us. The 63rd Grammys announced their lineup of performers for Sunday's award show. Bad Bunny, Cardi B, Billie Eilish, Taylor Swift, and other artists will perform. The show will also pay tribute to independent concert venues that have been impacted by the pandemic. Virtual presentations will take place at the Troubadour, the Hotel Cafe, and Apollo Theater. Trevor Noah will host the show, which airs on CBS.
The Hollywood Foreign Press Association issued a statement about diversity within its membership. The Los Angeles Times reported that the organization had no black members and it had problems with diversity and inclusion. The LA Times also claims that the HFPA voted not to hire a diversity consultant despite the Black Lives Matter movement. The HFPA used the Golden Globe Awards program to address its lack of inclusion and other allegations reported by the LA Times. In a statement, the organization said it plans to hire an independent expert in diversity, equity, and inclusion to advise its membership.
CSUN alum Danny Trejo are drafted into the LAFC as the 14th overall pick for the MLS draft. Our sports reporter Luis Miron shows what Trejo did to reach his dream.
5 days a week, 3 sessions a day, a high amount of sacrifices. For the last 18 years, this has been the life of Danny Trejo. His hard work has paid off. He's now a professional soccer player. Trejo is satisfied with reaching his goal.
On draft day, I pretty much, that's the day you want to spend it with your family, with your loved ones. They tell me to keep working hard and they're always going to support me. So for me to hear that, it's good, it's awesome.
Although he's getting a lot of attention because of his move to LAFC, Trejo remains humble. CSUN's men's head coach Terry Davila says he knows where Trejo gets that trait.
He is just a product of his environment. They're very humble, they're very loving, and Danny does everything for his family. And for sure, number one thing that he got it from is his family.
Trejo says he's aware of the impact the news is having on the Valley. He wants kids to know that it doesn't matter where they come from, as long as they put in the work. Van Nuys resident Brandon Jovel is proud to be training on the same field where Trejo trained.
It's a real inspiration seeing someone that grew up here, make it pro to the MLS. Especially seeing him in the parks that we play. It's a cool inspiration.
Trejo's humble beginning keeps him grounded. He's excited to prove that a kid from Mendota has what it takes to be the best. Reporting in Northridge for Valley View News, I'm Luis Miron.
NASA is working towards sending a woman to the moon. Only 12 American men have walked on the moon. The last was an Apollo astronaut back in 1972. A new program called Artemis, named after Apollo's mythical sister, is largely being run by women. Charlie Blackwell Thompson is NASA's first female launch director. She predicts the project to launch in about a year.
Apple is discontinuing the iMac Pro. The iMac Pro was released back in 2017 and is by far the most powerful and expensive iMac ever made. The iMac Pro was aimed at professionals in need of fast processing computers. Since last August, the machine hasn't gotten a significant hardware upgrade. Apple announced that they are getting ready to modernize their iMac models. The desktop model is still available on Apple's website until supplies last.
Twitter CEO Jack Dorsey is selling the first tweet ever published as a digital collector's item. Dorsey shared a link to Valuables, a digital platform that allows the buying and selling of tweets, including an autograph by the creator. The item up for bid is Dorsey's 2006 tweet saying, "Just setting up my Twitter." The tweet is a non-fungible token and has reached a bid of up to $2.5 million according to the Valuables website. An NFT is a unique digital token that can be verified by authenticity.
Chrissy Faye Lynn began cutting hair in her garage after she started losing business due to the pandemic. Our reporter Donna Ramirez spoke with her to see how her new business model is holding up.
Here in Echo Park, you'll find Chrissy's Phelan's Open Barber Shop, a shop built in her garage with creativity and out of necessity. Last year, Chrissy only worked just 3 full months out of the year due to COVID-19 shutdowns. With the help of her girlfriend, she's now open for business in her own location.
My place of business was completely shut down. I had no access to it, so I'm glad I grabbed my things when I did because I was able to make this happen. I would not have been able to survive if I didn't have this little garage.
Chrissy was working at the Salon Republic by West Hollywood earlier this year. Once it reopened, some of Chrissy's old clients might be worried about being inside. That's when the garage idea hit. With her landlord's permission, Chrissy was able to create a safe space for her clients.
Still had clients not comfortable being inside, so that's when this kind of started, was the open air concept. And I had to hang that picture, which you have to show, because it's from the 1918 Spanish flu, the barbers cutting hair outside.
Clients are now more comfortable and they love the new place. Chrissy's client, Jeremy Levine, says the space is homey. He enjoys it more than the usual 4-wall room.
You know, you got the fresh air, nice people. I actually kind of like it more than the hustle and bustle of like a salon, so I love it.
After the cancellation of COVID-19 stay-at-home orders, we'll now start seeing more stores open up, and some in unconventional spaces like garages. Donna Ramirez, Valley View News.
A 103-year-old man got his COVID vaccine. Emil Hopner lived through the 1918 Spanish flu. He also survived the Holocaust, where he lost 30 relatives, including his parents. Hopner received his second dose on Wednesday night at the Levi's Stadium in Santa Clara.
I thank God every day that at 103, I feel still in good shape because my wife takes care of me all the way. She's wonderful. Piece of gold.
Hopner has been staying at home since the start of the pandemic. That's all for us at Valley View News. I'm Casey Contreras.
And I'm Sophia Lecios. For stories any time of the day, go to our website, sundial.csun.edu. Thanks for watching.